you ready to start a podcast? I hope you are. And if so, welcome to the Delaware Blogger Podcast. I'm your host, Antionette Blake, the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger. And every week I come to you with podcasting pointers that will help you to share your mission and your vision just by using your voice. A new episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast publishes every Saturday at 10 a.m. And if you wish to sponsor a show, please send an email to me at info@ablakeenterprises.com. Now, we know starting a podcast can be exciting and a very rewarding experience, but it can also be a daunting task. There are so many things to consider when starting a podcast, from choosing a topic to deciding on the right technology. And in this episode, number 344 of the Delaware Blogger Podcast, I'm going to share the top 3 T's of starting a podcast: topic, time, and technology.
Are you ready to join the billion-dollar podcasting industry? If so, Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio is ready for you. Whether you're just starting out and have no equipment, or you are a seasoned pro but need help with production, Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio has everything you need. Conveniently located in Middletown, Delaware, Blake's state-of-the-art production facilities make producing your first or 100th podcast a breeze. No matter what kind of project you have in mind, the professionals at Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio can help with your production or give you the tools to produce it on your own. At the heart of Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio is award-winning blogger, vlogger, and CEO Antionette Blake, and her goal is simple: to help one more entrepreneur be successful. So stop making excuses and start making your podcast, audiobook, e-course, and other online dreams come true. Call Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio now. 302-261-3530. That's 302-261-3530.
Now, most of you know that I authored Podcasting Your Purpose, a resource guide, which covers everything from choosing your topic to monetizing your podcast. And I'm going to leave the link in the show notes so that you can purchase a copy. Now, in today's episode number 344, we're going to focus on the 3 T's of starting a podcast. Ready? Here we go. The first T is topic. That's right. You want to choose your topic for your podcast. One of the most important steps in the process. Now, your topic can be something that you're passionate about, something that you can talk about for hours, every week, every month, for years to come. Yes, it should also be something that your audience will be interested in. Think about the topics that you're knowledgeable about and topics that your audience might be interested in as well. Now, you can look at other podcasts that are doing it and see if there's a gap in that market and how you fit in. You can literally talk about anything. And in my book, Podcasting Your Purpose Resource Guide, I give you a big list of topics. The next T that you want to think about is time. Once you've chosen a topic, it's time to schedule and time to decide how often you'll be recording and releasing episodes. Now, this is going to be dependent on how much time you have available and how often you want to release new content. You can choose to record and release episodes weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly, but I don't recommend that because remember, out of sight, out of mind. And that also works with audio. If you're going to make your listeners wait for a new episode once a month, they're going to forget about you. And they're not really going to be as loyal as weekly listeners are. So to avoid or circumvent those time constraints of life, because life be lifing, you can and you should pre-record. Record multiple episodes at once and release them over a period of time. Remember, we talked about that in episode 342, 10 reasons why pre-planning your podcast is essential for success. Yes, check that out if you didn't listen to it. And the last T is technology. The technology that you use to record and distribute your podcast is very important. Now, you can get a microphone or you can use the phone that's already built into your smartphone. But you're going to need a microphone, a computer, and some recording software. You'll also need to decide how you'll be distributing your podcast. Now, you can use a podcast hosting service such as Buzzsprout or Libsyn or Podbean, and even free ones, Spotify for podcasters, which used to be Anchor, which is where I started back in 2017. You can also host your podcast on your own website. And then that technology, you need to decide how you're going to be promoting your podcast. Are you going to be using social media, email, or other marketing tactics to get the word out about your podcast? Newsletters are also a great way for podcast distribution. So those are the 3 top T's of starting a podcast: choosing a topic, deciding on a release schedule, selecting the right technology, and these are all important steps in the process. And with the right preparation and dedication, you can create a successful podcast that your audience will love. Now remember, I have the Podcasting Your Purpose resource guide that goes into more detail. So I want to thank you for listening to today's episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast. And if you found anything that I said of interest to you, please subscribe and share with others. You may want to even leave a rating or review and check out a few other episodes while you're here too. And I invite you to subscribe to the blog, Delblogger.com, because that's where you're going to find more podcasting pointers, as well as the link to purchase a copy of either my Basic Blogging Tips for Beginners book or Podcasting Your Purpose resource guide. And I invite you to send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com to schedule a 15-minute complimentary discovery call, or even enroll in my 5-week podcasting coaching sessions, or even blogging for beginners. So until the next time, this is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger, wishing you and yours a beautifully blessed day. And remember, sharing is caring. So please share this episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast with your family, your friends, your bae, and your boo too. See ya. It's the DE Diva.